Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I'm listening to a lot of people who know Luka's game talk about what to expect from Luka Doncic going forward. One nugget that I took was that he tends to not play well against bad teams. He can dumb it down for anybody. So that's something we're gonna have to be on guard about when we go up against the Hornets and the Jazz and stuff like that. He does have a history of not necessarily showing up against the worst teams in the league and often drops games against those teams when he's leading things. So we're going to have that nugget in our head as Laker fans so we're not caught off guard by losing to the Bulls or something like that and he don't play well. However, when you talk about what you think you know about Luka the Don, you got to take into account that now he's got LeBron next to him. And I'm not hearing enough of the quote-unquote experts who are talking about Luka's game discussing just how much of LeBron's DNA is going to be overpowering potentially Luka's or vice versa. You talk about, Luka's teams don't lose. This is not just Luka's team. We got two superstars, two number ones, which means you're going to have to account for both of them. And I was listening to somebody talking, listening to Locked On. They were having a four-way conversation. In fact, it's live right now. I was enjoying. But I wanted to make some content for myself. And listening to them, they were essentially saying that, Luka the Don's teams do this, Luka the Don's teams do this. But I'm like, I'm not quite hearing y'all say anything about how LeBron James is going to affect Luka's game. How much easier Luka's game is going to be by, having LeBron next to him. How much LeBron is going to affect what you're seeing. One guy was talking about the Thunder have historically done a good job against Luka Doncic. Thunder got to account for Luka Doncic and LeBron James. How they done stopping both of them? Because if you stop one and you leave the other one to go to work, he don't need the other one to do anything. You see what that's the problem with facing the Lakers, as people are going to come to understand it to be. Assuming we're healthy, everything is contingent upon us being healthy. But teams are going to have to understand, especially fans who are used to Luka Doncic-led basketball teams. This team has two number ones, which means you got two number one spacing concerns, two number one who do you double team concern, two number one, even if you playing great defense, they're still torching you concerns. Who do you throw on whom? And that's what I'm not understanding. I'm not sure, but I don't think you're going to find a better number 2 or number 3 in the NBA than what the Lakers now are lining up. Phoenix? Who was it? Don't give me Boston. Neither one of them dudes better than either one of our dudes. With respect to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, ain't neither one of them better than LeBron or Luka the Don. They would be number 2s on either one of these people's teams. So that's what it is really like. I think it's gonna be eye-opening for a lot of people who are trying to project what the Lakers are gonna be now that Luka's running the show. Luka's gonna run the show when it makes sense for him to do so. Otherwise, we're gonna shift the ground. You understand what I'm saying? And as we do, you gotta deal with triple-double and 40-point games from either one of them. Not to mention that Austin Reeves is now turning into a leading guard himself, so now you got to deal with him. If either one of them dudes are having a cold night, guess what? He can get hot. And so it's like, that's my point of view. It's like, I'm not hearing enough people talk about how they're going to try to account for how LeBron is going to affect how people have to defend Luka, what Luka's expected to do out there. With respect to Kyrie Irving, this is not the same thing, man. It's not the same thing. And when it was Kyrie Irving, y'all barely could deal with that. Y'all barely could deal with it. They got to the whole finals. So, I don't know. I guess I'm sounding a little perturbed. But, I don't think it's insane that people can't seem to envision this. We have yet to see it. You know what I mean? We've only seen 3 games of it, and 2 of those games didn't have Luka playing his best. The Denver game was like, we got to see more to know if that's really what to expect. But as far as the DNA of what a Luka-led team looks like, what does a Luka-led team look like when LeBron James is over there on the floor with him, hitting shots, making plays, getting boards, getting stops? Have you seen that? No, you have not. And so that's what I have to say to all these people. It's like, oh, Luka-led teams are going to do this, and Luka's going to do that. It's like, yeah, he may. Or he may just defer to LeBron James. LeBron takes over and we win the game that way. A lot of what y'all think in regards to how you stop Luka or how you stop LeBron has to be now taken into account. The overall attention that is going to be drawn by either one of these people when the other one's free and one has the ball. It's just not, it's not guardable. That's what we're all going to probably find out and understand. It's not guardable. That's what I think. And if we keep playing defense at a high level, I don't legitimately believe anybody can beat us in a 7-game series. None of these teams that are around today. None of these teams that have themselves at the top of either conference. The only team that really concerns me is 2 teams that really concern me is OKC, because I do legitimately think that there could be real problems when you're talking about 2 center lineups when we have such deficient center position players. We may be able to stop a singular big man team, but a team with 2 bigs, that doesn't necessarily work. So that's when it becomes a situation of, do we just get out executed on the offensive boards, giving teams easy putbacks and stuff like that? Do we get worn down in a 7-game series by teams that have these type of bigs that they throw at us in tandem? Minnesota may be considered that as well when you consider Naz Reid coming off the bench, the waves that come at you when you have those type of guys to account for. So, other than that, I'm not really sure. I have to see what the Lakers can actually be. I got to see them stay healthy. This is all assuming LeBron James' body continues to play the way it's been playing, and at this age, it could stop at any moment. And that's why I'm wondering, if I should be as brash about this team. Because if for some reason one of those players not who they need to be at a given moment, that takes the dynamic and turns it into something else. But all things remaining equal, I don't know who the hell stops this. Because see, LeBron James is playing at a much different pace now. Yes, he's playing at a pace that doesn't reserve as much energy, because he's not expected to take on as much in a lot of cases on the offensive end, so he could play more defense. He has to play more defense. So now you're getting better defense out of him, which makes us a better overall defensive team. Because AD is no longer here, and now we got so much help on the offensive end. So he can exert himself in some ways where he wasn't necessarily at his best to do so with the team that we had prior to this trade. So it's just a lot of different dynamics. Rui Hachimura, now you got to deal with him potentially being a 30-point scorer. I mean, he barely misses sometimes. Like, he gets to a point with Rui where it's like, damn, man, can you shoot more, bro? Because you're not missing at all. And that's something to take into account, too. Dorian Finney-Smith and Rui Hachimura, if they're both just playing like they normally are, they're 2 of the best catch-and-shoot players you're going to find. If they just play themselves, that's not even if they're hot. That's just if they're being like they're supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a lot of people who are used to Luka-led teams expecting for things to be the same. But ain't nothing the same when you playing with LeBron James. Video 44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.